All right. Let's get this started. So, I want to touch on this Alph Preach and fitness situations going on all over the internet. Everybody already knows about it. I mean, it's to a point where people are creating YouTube channels and reacting to it and speaking on it and giving their opinions on it. And established YouTubers are eating good with this. They are eating so well. If you're going to create a video and you want to start a YouTube, right now is the time to do it. Just talk about Alph Preach and fitness. You'll blow up. Believe me, I know it. So let me touch on this. But again, people already know the details of it. But just a little backstory. Alph Preach, I've been following them for probably the start of this year. But they've been around, I think, like 2017. So they've been around for a while now. Fresh and Fit, they've been around, I think, late in 2020. I watched their content as well, but I just started about a month ago. Now, with Alph Preach, you got to be more mindful of the fact that these guys are also comedians, right? You don't really tell at first glance when you watch their videos because they don't really throw it out there. But their videos are very entertaining. So they'll talk about, they'll cover politics a little bit, but more so a lot of social issues that comes out. A lot of mainstream events that pops up, they'll have a comment about it. They'll have a reaction video about it. The Jubilee reactions, I think they're probably more famous for. They're really, really entertaining. Believe me, they're really entertaining. If you have never heard of them, you never actually watched their channel, they're entertaining. You can go back months and years or whatever and watch their video, and it'll be just as entertaining now as they were when they first initially posted it. They make good content. I can't knock them. I don't always agree with their opinions, but it's always come from a logical standpoint. So their opinions always comes from a logical standpoint, right? You can understand it. You may not agree with it, but you can kind of understand why they have certain comments, right? And have certain feelings towards certain topics, right? And they add some humor to it, and they're entertaining as hell. But when you start looking at Fresh and Fit, it's a different kind of podcast, completely different, complete set. Like, they're just totally different in every single way you could think of, right? Fresh and Fit is more so, it's two guys that just brings, not to be disrespectful, they bring a bunch of bimbos, to their podcast, to their show, and they ask them a bunch of questions that they are not really, I guess, educated on, or that they like topics that they clearly don't give a fuck about. Let's be real. They don't care. Those females are there for one purpose only, is to expand their brand, right? They're going to throw out their OnlyFans link. They're going to talk about what their Instagram handle is, their Twitter handle is. They're there for clout, and that's really it. And the Fresh and Fit has that platform to provide that for them. So you got two different channels, right? And also, Fresh and Fit, they actually give advice to men. These guys sell, I think, ebooks and memberships, and not memberships, courses. I mean, at first glance, you look at these guys and you're like, they got, 500,000 subscribers. They have a great looking set. It's clear they put money in the work that they put through, right? So if you look at their set, they're in Miami. It appears that they're on a high rise. They're at a high rise office. The equipment, they have a real staff. You can tell they put money into their show, right? Preach and Alph, or Alph Preach, if you look at their show, it looks like it's in Alph's apartment or house. It's the same setup. The camera setup are exactly the same in every video shot. It's the same background from freaking years ago, right? They haven't changed. This is just them in front of a mic, in front of a camera, talking their shit. Fresh and Fitness, they have like a whole production team. It's freaking hilarious. But long story short, I mean, Alph and Preach went to their Fresh and Fit show one time, and they ended up making a video out of it. So they reflected back. They took snippets of Fresh and Fit, and so the conversation that they reacted to, Alph and Preach on their own channel, was clips as it relates to Fresh and Fit making comments about paying for the box, right? So they're throwing them under the bus by saying, hold on, everybody pays for the box. And they started throwing Myron under the bus because there was text messages that went out where these bimbos, these females that he would invite to their show, would tell them, you can't come to my show unless you sleep with me. So Alph and Preach's standpoint is, hold on, wait a second. You guys got some integrity problems here. You're talking about it is embarrassing for a man to pay for the box, which I 100% agree. I think it's embarrassing. I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think it's corny, but each his own. I think it's pathetic, really, but to each his own. But Alph Preach is really talking about the hypocrisy of it, right? If this is what you believe, then you stick to it. Easy enough. But they found out through text messages that for the females to come to their show, they have to sleep with them. Or at least this one particular female that came out. I don't know about everybody else, but that one particular female that came out. And she provided screenshots. So Alph and Preach is saying, hold on, I even went to your show. You guys are not standing with what you said. You're saying one thing, but you're not doing it, right? You're telling a female she needs to sleep with you before you get on the show. And to me, that seems a little weird because you guys have a ton of females. I mean, are you doing it to every single one? Right? It's a little weird to me, but at the end of the day, they called them out. And again, these are two different YouTubers. What you post online is fair game. If your content is, this is how you should be, this is how you should treat people, this is how you are, this is how I'm going to train you men on how to do things and how to move and all that stuff. But and then in the background, you're doing something completely opposite. You're being a hypocrite, right? And then they exposed the fact that Myron has he's on this website for sugar daddies. What are we doing here? you're talking about, and I agree with Myron, where you shouldn't be paying for anyone to sleep with you, but you're doing it on text message. It's documentation. My man has a freaking profile on these sugar daddy websites. You're literally saying you're gonna pay. It's just dumb. Just the hypocrisy. You can't make this shit up. So Alph Preach kind of blow them up. All right. Now Fresh and Fit response, and we're waiting for that response. And their response is, we're better than you. We have more views than you. We get more girls than you. Just everything besides the actual topic of you guys being hypocrites. And then they take it to the next point. Now they start talking about Preach's wife. Make comments about his wife. That is so corny to me. That is so corny to me. They're killing you based on your words and your actions, and compare your words versus your actions, right? And you're not following the advice that you give other men. And your response back is, well, I got more views than you. Oh yeah, and by the way, your wife is ugly. Like, none of that makes sense. You're acting like a woman who loses an argument, right? When a woman loses an argument, they just start talking about random things that has nothing to do with the argument, right? They're like scatterbrains and just start talking about everything else. Like, it's just some wild stuff, right? And that's how they're reacting. They had no idea that the internet was gonna blow up, right? They blew up. My man, that other guy, Myron, the other, I guess what's his name, Fresh or something Fresh. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. The guy who barely says anything on that podcast. The one who can't say anything, like as if he doesn't even want to be there. He sits there, he laughs, he smiles. Like, motherfucker, that's your podcast, motherfucker. Talk your shit. This dude doesn't say anything. Myron takes over everything. But the dude who's always quiet now talks about, let's box it out. To preach. Let's box it out. You guys talk about how many views you get, and then you say, I'm gonna fight you. Because Alvin Preach talked about your hypocrisy, and that's your response? Terrible. Terrible. So, Alvin Preach responded back with, cool. I accept your fight. I'll be in Miami on the 25th and the 26th. You pick and choose. You tell me when. They didn't expect that. And the internet blew up, right? Because, they saw what happened, right? You went ahead and you talked about a month man's wife, and then you start talking about, let's go box, right? And when the guy says, all right, bet, I accept your challenge. Now here comes this storm, right? Where fans are now unsubscribing for Fresh and Fit podcast. I even unsubscribed, but I unsubscribed before this whole the whole thing. When it first initially started, with the moment he's talked about his wife, right? And I looked at it and I was like, man, these guys are really corny. They can't even rebuttal these guys' argument. They can't rebuttal Alvin Preach's argument. They can't, because they got caught. They got caught being hypocrites. That, and I was actually pretty tired of their show. I mean, their show is literally the same episode every single week. It got boring. I can go back and watch Alvin Preach from fucking 2 years ago, and their stuff is entertaining as hell. I can't do that with Fresh and Fit. So I unsubscribed before it became like really popular. I didn't know it was even a thing when I unsubscribed, but I guess we all felt the same way. So, look, so that happened. So now I think at some point they sent out an apology on their social media saying, hey, we apologize to our fans. Another BS apology. It's just one of those BS apologies because, hey, we're losing subscribers. Let's just throw something out here and minimize our ego hit. That's really what it is. Alvin Preach does another the video says, you apologize to your fans. You didn't disrespect your fans. You disrespected my wife. You disrespected my country because he made a comment about sending him back to Haiti. Worst timing in the world. Haiti just got hit with with the hurricane, right? Come on, people are dying, literally. Like, I think it's 1,700 people has already passed. And then now you made a comment about their country. You made a comment about the guy's wife. You give a BS apology. What a joke. What a joke. What a BS apology. And they didn't accept it. Look, Alvin Preach is smart enough to read what it was, and it was apology to their fans. It wasn't apology to him. So Preach is still about it. He's like, see me. I'm going to be in Miami. And I think Fresh and Fit thought, because Alvin Preach, they're actually from Canada. They're in Canada. They live in Canada. That they're safe because Fresh and Fit is in Florida. Well, that guy's in Canada. I'm Fresh and Fit in Florida. Yeah, we could box it out. These motherfuckers are never coming. They're not coming from Canada to go to fucking Miami to box me. It'll be all right. We're good. We get to talk our shit. The safety of our own podcast, right? Safety in Miami, being in America, right? These guys in Canada is not going to come down. Preach does not give a flying fuck. He said it multiple times. I'm coming down to Miami. Set me up. Give me the address. Let's set it up. And these guys try to walk back by talking about, yeah, we can do it. They're pushing the goalpost. Yeah, $500,000. We'll have a whole event on it. We'll get promoters. We'll make our money. Blah blah blah. Alvin Preach. This isn't about money. And you hear what Preach is saying, and he's saying, this is not about money. This is about you disrespecting my wife, and this is about you making a comment about my country. This dude does not want to hear shit about money. Not at all. Alph made a comment. And he said, I offered you $20,000 in hard cash before the fight just to show up. If you're really about it and the guy says, I'm not worried about a promoter, I'm not worried about setting up a big old event, don't even have to, we don't have to make a big spectacle about it. I'm gonna go and we're gonna fight. That's it. You sent out an invitation and I'm gonna come and I'm gonna fight you. Fight. He's not worried about money. You think these guys worried about money? These guys have over 1 million views. By the way, they have gigs outside of YouTube. So these fresh and fit dudes are making comments about, we make more money than you. We have this channel, we have that channel, we have another channel. That channel's getting 100,000 views. That channel's about to hit 1 million. This channel's about to blow up. Next year, I'm gonna lap you. They're talking all their shit, but that's all they do. Alan Priest got careers outside of the YouTube, and he still got 1 million subscribers. They're not worried about money. They're worried about the pride. They're worried about the honor. That's what they're worried about. You don't challenge the dude for a fight, disrespect his wife, disrespect his country, and then talk money afterwards? Nah, bro. Alph was smart enough. That's a smart dude. Smart enough to say, he knows in the back of his mind, these guys are not about that life. They just talk their shit just to talk their shit. They're not about that life. So let me give this dude $20,000. I'm going to give it to you. $20,000 to show up, because he knows for a fact these motherfuckers ain't going to show up. They're not. And every time they're moving the goalposts. So first it was 500,000. They're like, now we can get a promoter. And they're just moving the goalposts. And then here comes the apology, the BS apology. That ain't work, because they're losing subscribers. And when they lose subscribers, they're losing money. Think about that. Losing money. So now they're like, all right, we got to stop the bleeding. So now they go to their podcast and then they make a video. They go to their own show with a bunch of the females and stuff. And then now they're making a comment and they're saying, hey, I really apologize to you guys, to your wife and to your country. I should have never said it. So they acknowledge everything they should have done. They were almost done. Myron said what he needed to say, right? And then here comes the fucking idiot, the one who never says shit, ends the apology with, yeah, we can still box it out. We in Miami, set it up. I'm looking at this dude like, throw the whole there's no point of even apologizing. Why? What's the point? You fucked it up. Either way you look at it, you fucked it up. Myron's sitting there apologizing the whole thing, and then this dude dude doesn't say shit. Happens to say, yeah, we can still box it up. Yeah, hit me up. Box it up. You're a fucking idiot. And now, I think last time I saw, they're like, they came from having, I think, almost 600,000 subscribers down to like 300 some change. 300,000 some change subscribers. They're losing money hand over fist. They're losing it. Now, this is, you can't make this up. Alph comes out with a video that said, he's about to hop on a plane. They had shows that they had to do, and because other things they had to do. And before he left on the plane, he got a message saying that these fucking fresh and fit idiots posted on social media them buying their first gun. At least one of them. The one who doesn't say anything, or whoever, one of those. And Alph throws out social cues. You guys are trying to educate men on how to move in life, but you're in the middle of all this controversy, and everybody knows about it. Anybody who's on YouTube already knows about it. It's blowing up. Fresh and Fit is one of the hottest podcasts. Alph Preach is one of the most consistent ones, Everybody on YouTube knows these guys. So you're in the middle of an epic battle. You challenge the guy to a fight, and then you try to back out of it, and then now you're saying, oh, I'm cool with it, let's do it. The guy said, I'm gonna see you in Miami, we're gonna pick a date, we're gonna do this. And then you go on the internet, you buy a gun and post it on the internet. Social cues. You sound like a fucking idiot. Alba said it. He's right. Alba, I agree with you. The guy's a fucking idiot. These guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. They don't know what's going on in the world. They have no idea how to fucking move, because this is not... Even if I was afraid, you think my career is giving advice to men on how to move. Even if I'm afraid and I really do buy a gun, you think I'm gonna post that on the internet? You lost all respect from a ton of people. It's over for these guys. It's done. I wouldn't be surprised if they hit 200,000 followers, right? I'm very interested to see kind of how everything's going to go. This video is longer than I thought it was going to be, but I think that's pretty much the last of it. I'll put up a part 2 if something else happens. I'll react to that, or I'll speak on it. But it's interesting as hell, man. It's interesting as hell. This whole thing is interesting. But the guy ended up buying a gun, right? And as far as I know, as of now, I haven't heard a response back from this, right? Because I'm covering this, because I'm watching all this, because I'm educating myself on how to not move from these dudes. These dudes don't know what is going on in this world. They look like a bunch of sissies. They do. They don't know how to move. This is not how you move. You don't have people call you out on the things that you say. That doesn't match on the things that you do. Instead of combating those points, you decide to trash that man's wife, trash that man's country, and then proceed to ask him for a fight. Fist fight. And then he says, disrespecting my honor. And I'm going to accept that fight. And then you proceed to push the goalpost because you're afraid. You really don't want to fight. Alba offers you $20,000 cash for this fight to take place, whether you show up or not. Just to show up, I mean, well, $20,000 just to show up, because he knows you weren't going to show up, and it proves it. Priest talks about, I'm gonna be in Miami, one way or another. I'm gonna be in Miami. We're gonna fight. I'm gonna get your address. We're gonna fight. And then you proceed to buy a gun, and then you proceed to post that on the internet to look like a fucking fool. These men are never gonna follow you again. Whoever's following you now is a fucking joke to begin with. That's number one. Or they're only there just to see possible reactions of what's taking place, like, to get more updates. But any female, you can't kick out females anymore in your show. Just so you know that. You cannot kick out any females off your show anymore, because all they're gonna do is throw that out there. And you guys post live stuff, right? You can't. What are you gonna do? You're gonna edit it afterwards. But when it's live, right? These girls are gonna talk their shit. Good luck. You might have to find another avenue. You might have to do reaction videos of reaction videos. Figure out some other kind of content, because guided men ain't gonna it no more. These women's gonna shit on you. I think Kevin Samuels even is riding with Alba and preach on this. But yeah, I'm gonna end this here. I guess we'll see what's gonna happen. I did watch a YouTube video last night, of another YouTuber saying that he received, I don't know, like I guess a message saying to take down a video that he did because he posted text message screenshots or something like that. And this is someone from Fresh and Fit's team. And he said, I'm going to get a loss. And, you're going to get sued or something like that. I got to watch the video again. I was kind of in and out. I was watching something else at the same time. I don't know if there's anything to that or not, but I'll let you guys know if there's going to be another video. But yeah, we got a few more days. we'll see what happens if the fist fight ever takes place. But either way, we already know Preacher's going to show up in Miami one way or another. So these guys might want to show up too. Yeah. All right. Take it easy, guys.